You're listening to Zero Hour, a Scarlet Rhapsody podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Zero Hour. We are at episode 155. On today's show, we will be covering Chara Expo. Chara Expo is an event hosted by Bushy Road Entertainment. It takes place at the Anaheim Convention Center. This is their second outing here in the United States. So Chara Expo, it focuses on Bushy Road intellectual property, current, and also upcoming properties by Bushy Road. What's mainly known for it are the Idol concerts, hosted by Roselia, Poppin' Party. We also have the Cardfight Vanguard series, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, to name a few. I'm not alone on this show, so with me today we have...
Jared the Greek.
Hey, I'm Deb.
And I'm Nico Yazawa.
Good enough.
So Chara Expo is a 2-day event in Anaheim. Took place in early December. They moved it from November, which was like their original date when they first started. It's like, okay, first weekend of December, not too shabby. And it was also sharing space with SneakerCon.
So who wants to talk about SneakerCon, the con that we've never been to?
It was really interesting because it was like SneakerCon was taking up most of the convention area space.
Yeah.
And then you have Chara Expo, unlike most conventions that we tend to, it takes up just one exhibit hall. So don't really think of Chara Expo as like, okay, it's going to have panel rooms. They did have a screening room, but most of the action you'll find, concerts included, pro wrestling included, in the exhibit hall. What did you all think of that setup?
It's exactly what it was explained to me, how last year's was set up, and I was like, all right. Nice having that big stage in the back, that a big screen that got the various actors up to talk about their games and what have you. What surprised me more is that they had a food court. I was not expecting a food court. I like food.
I mean, it was there last year, too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys ever bring up the food court?
What,
You guys
the
always
food
talked about everything
stands?
It was
else.
on our
Yeah.
report.
Oh, yeah, because like the copy editor reads the reports.
He does.
You should.
You should.
I really should, yeah. I just look over at the pictures. And these pictures seem nice. All right, yeah.
Just a clarification, it was Jay's first time at Chara Expo.
It was.
It was, but then we talked about hey, remember the food that we ate? And then, obviously someone wasn't listening, but that's okay,
It's a year ago. Give me a break. Yeah, I get it. You guys saw idols and shirtless dudes. Got it. Yeah, cool. Sounds like fun.
Nobody mentioned shirtless dudes.
You guys talk about wrestling. Wrestling usually features shirtless dudes.
Okay. That, yes, okay.
I mean, not always. Some of them wear shirts or they wear, like singlets. But some of them were shirtless.
Okay.
And I was there at the wrestling. I saw at least one shirtless dude.
Oh, more than one, but yeah.
Yeah, I said at least.
Mm-hmm. No, but yeah, foods were there. Actually, you know what? Hey, we're going to probably get into this more later, but there were a few food stalls that we were surprised to find. A brand new find, mind you.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food light up was really strong.
Yep. Hella strong. So layout was pretty much similar to last year, and
Maybe a little bit bigger.
a little
Maybe
bit.
it's just me.
I felt like there was more space because they actually did have a dedicated zone where you can wait as you're lining up to get into the merchandise booth, because that was a major change that they did this year. So for the merchandise booth, basically when you checked in during registration, they would give you a time card. That's your reservation to get into the merchandise booth, because last year it was first come first serve and there was a wicked long line to get into the merchandise booth. And what I also did like about the merchandise booth this year is that all the New Japan Pro Wrestling stuff wasn't in the merchandise booth, and they had their own booth for that, so you didn't have to wait too long.
As they should.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
And I got into the merchandise booth at 2:30 in the afternoon, and basically how it worked was this. You would show up maybe half an hour before your allotted shopping time to the lineup area. Just kind of chill there for about half an hour, 45 minutes. And then basically they would just escort the line to move up front to the merchandise booth. Merchandise booth had a couple of it was mostly idol stuff: Raise the Sullen, Roselia, Bandori, Love Live, and there was a lot of Love Live stuff left over. A lot of my friends were collecting the Love Live pins. I was on the hunt for some Roselia merchandise, and I was kind of bummed that the Roselia light stick was sold out. And this is also where you would also get your tickets for the Roselia concert, Poppin' Party, or Raise a Sullen, or any autograph tickets, because if you spent X amount, that would allow you to get a ticket to either redeem for an autograph or for a concert. Of course, by the time I got there at 2:30, it all had sold out. So I'm like, whatever. Just kind of shrug my shoulders. But yeah, if you wanted to like just get any of the get into concerts or just get a coveted autograph, you had to be there early. There are people out there as early as 4 a.m. to be among the first to get into that merchandise line, and that was pretty insane. And there's even a lot of people who are just flying out to just go see Roselia. Like, I knew people who were flying from Japan, who actually flew in, and people who actually flew in from New York. And this was pretty crazy. But hey, I mean, gosh, if you got that much dedication to the things you love, I salute you right there.
Do we want to bring up what happens on the day one?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and cover that.
Yeah, before we got there, though, we did get a news of, how should I put it, the entrance mishap. So, I got a news from Twitter saying that there were a few people that got trampled along the way because they didn't do the line control. Few people, I don't know the exact number, but that they got bruised up. There are people just helping them bring up. But yeah, there were actual injuries from the people storming in because they were not controlling the line whatsoever.
Yeah, I was looking at Twitter the morning of, and people were just tweeting out their bruises and their scars from being trampled on because there was zero line control. And Kara Expo, they tried to rectify or remedy that the next day, but at the same time, I don't know. I just kind of felt like it wasn't enough.
This kind of creates a few problems. Number one, it's going to cause lawsuit. That's always something you don't want if you're, I don't know, organizing something, any events whatsoever. And number two, I don't know why they didn't put a line there to begin with. You would think there'd be, unionized staff members to really, I don't know, create a controlled environment, but couldn't even do that on day one.
You would expect from lessons learned last year that there were already people already camping out to get into the merchandise line. They're okay, we had to station people there early, because I did notice that this year they had a lot more staff and a lot more volunteers ready. Okay, it would make sense to just start have a line to have people line up, because at the Anaheim Convention Center, I know for a fact they allow that for D23 to allow people to even just camp out and just wait to get in.
So pretty much this is how it's gonna happen. Next few days, either those people that got trampled, they're gonna sue Bushy Road for not doing their damn job controlling the line, or they get compensated by VIP ticket next year. Either way, look, no matter what happens, here's the thing: it's not a good luck, okay? And if they don't get this fixed by next year, same thing's gonna happen over and over, and it's just gonna be a headache. I don't know if it's gonna get bigger or not, to be honest, attendance wise, but yeah, it's already I'm getting a little bit scared,
If they continue to bring their A game and their A-list guests up to Kara Expo, it's always going to have this early risers just coming in to just be among the first to get the tickets, and they really need to just organize the system much better, because otaku and idol stands be wild. And as of this recording, nothing has been reported to if Bushy Road has addressed the specific incident in question.
We'll see what happens, but this ain't looking good. It still ain't looking good. A lot of people still probably remember this fresh in their minds, so aside from that, we go in and it's bright as hell. But where do we want to begin?
Okay, let's see. Let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh boy, howdy. Okay, they have for this year. They have. Oh god, I'm trying to figure out the people right from the off the top of my head. Few indie people. Let's see. One of them was Barrett Brown. Oh no, I got it. Barrett Brown, Regal Twins, Mysterioso. I've never heard of them, but it's always It's always good to find the new people like that. Aaron Solo. I've heard of that name for a while. But this is the first time I've ever seen him. Of course, this is a Lions break too, which means you always gotta have a young lion. So Clark Connors, Alex Goglin, and Ren Narita, who by the way is from Japan. Like he's young lion from the Japan side, but they sent him on an excursion. They actually sent two young lions from Japan to excursion to different countries. Narita went to here. The other one, I forgot his name, but he went to the United Kingdom. So Narita, yeah, that's the first time I've seen Narita, and jeez Louise, like that was impressive. And on the New Japan Pro side, we had Bullet Club, parts of the Bullet Club, specifically Taiji Ishimori and El Fantasmo. And then the other side, we had the team of Ryusuke Taguchi and Rocky Romero. So it was really interesting, like seeing those guys. I didn't. Oh yeah, and then to my surprise, I don't know whether I saw it and forgot about it, but I just didn't hear about it altogether. Stardom was there, and this is the first time I've ever found out that Stardom was acquired by Bushiroad. I don't know when that happened, but
I don't know when that happened.
Yeah, but freaking used to be, but it's good to see. Okay, so Sammy Sakai, who's been in US for God knows how long, she also wrestled in Ring of Honor as well as many other independent territories. I believe she's a current PCW Ultra Women's Champion. Let's see, and the other one is Nico Savoy, who also wrestled in a lot of independent circuits. The two Stardom stars they sent out were Tam Nakano and the current Stardom champion Mayu Iwatani, who just surprised the freaking hell out of me. And I mean, we could I guess, do we want to cover the, do you want to talk about the matches a bit, just quickly, I guess? So Stardom had the same match, right? Mayu Iwatani and Nakano versus Savoy and Sumi Sakai, right? Jeez, this is the first time I've seen, Iwatani all week, and it's just wow, what the hell, she's good, everything she does is spot on, and you wouldn't... she does a crucifix powerbomb. I'm wait, you're how much? You weigh how much? And you do a crucifix powerbomb just picture perfect? That's insane,
Are they technically my size?
Oh no, she's probably taller than you.
It's a little bit taller.
But not by much.
Not by much, but it's just more her her build, how she's built. I'm just wow, okay, didn't expect the heavyweight move off of that, but alright, but she was really good. She's legit. Stardom match was really good. They were really a lot of people were getting into it. That's really good. I hope to see more Stardom matches in the U.S. I think that's what they're aiming for. Probably this is a testing ground for Stardom. Okay. How many people are gonna be interested in seeing Stardom in somewhere like Long Beach or something?
Was it previously announced before the convention they were going to have a Stardom exhibition show?
I believe it was mentioned shortly, a little bit. But
okay.
Not that I remember,
Because I think most people gathered there were there for New Japan, but that was actually a pretty cool little, I guess you want to call it a warm-up match or however you want to refer to it. I'm not sure what you call it.
Basically it's an exhibition match, but in itself, I want to say Stardom is its own contained entity.
Yeah, I got the feeling for that because then they started doing the music and the announcements properly for New Japan. Yep. So from my perspective, I was this must be... I thought they were just a local group. Well, no, because that gal's clearly Japanese. And I was getting that position of, these ladies are pretty awesome. I always like when you can see female wrestlers who actually wrestle and aren't just there to be I'm pretty and, oh, I've pinned you with my, slap to the face move.
Well, the good news is that like we're way beyond the Diva era now. So,
Yes,
you know,
we are, and thankfully.
Yeah. So no, I think I would love to see more Stardom stuff in the US for sure. You know, like I think that'd be interesting. I believe Stardom did come by once, but that was like I couldn't make it. You know, because like money issues. But hopefully, like they have like couple shows in the LA area. I think that'd be a good start. You know,
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
In the future, yeah.
Yeah. So New Japan wise goes like kind of shuffled around the personnel a bit, you know.
Yeah, they did.
So same people for two days, but just different like match setup, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it always ended with a tag team match between Taguchi and Romero versus like insert team here. The day one, I think it was against Bullet Club. Day two, it was against Suzuki-gun. Oh yeah, that's one I forgot to mention. Suzuki-gun, El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. And I'm just like, oh wow, Suzuki-gun's here, nice, and they live up to their reputation. Surely enough, So. Yeah, day one was fun, but day two, I think I got a little more than what I bargained for.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Tell the story.
Yeah, so this was match between one of the young lions, I think it was Clark
Yes.
Connors,
Yes.
and El Phantasmo, right? And Phantasmo won. Okay, let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
And then he just go around like trying to pick a fight with people, and he picked up this hat from one of the guys from opposite side of me. Like this is literally opposite side of where we're sitting, right? And then like he just tossed the hat in the air, and it curved. It landed right in front of me. And I picked it up. I'm going around trying to give the hat back to the guy, and here comes the El Phantasmo. I'm thinking like, uh-oh. And then I'm just like,
You had the look of,
oh yeah, I'm just like, oh, I know where this is going. And then I'm trying to like just walk fast as possible to the other side. And eventually I get the hat to the New Japan security guy, just snuck it in him. And I just, last time I remember is I see like ELP just like trying to go over the fence, trying to get to me. And I'm just like, okay, I hope nobody's gonna watch this. And apparently that's gonna be on YouTube. So everyone and their grandma's gonna watch it now. Joy!
But see, I love when heels do heel stuff like that. It's great. Not just the throwing the hat, but then, oh, you want to get the hat back? Oh, you do you? Huh? You really want to get that hat back?
I'm just like, okay, that's probably the most I've ever had interaction-wise with a wrestler ever in my life so far. So I'm just like, all right, check that one off the list.
There's one thing you can say about Phantasmo is he really did a lot of like crowd work, and not only just interrupting the show to give his own like long-winded introduction of himself, which is great, but then post when everyone's reacting and stuff, and just him screwing around with that kind of stuff, and the crowd loved it. So I loved it because I was like, yeah, I've always had a love for heel types just because it's that whole I can do whatever I want. I'm like, yeah, I like that. I like that. It's the supervillain mentality, I think, of that kind of a character, and that made that fun. The last match was amazing. I mean, I see why everyone loves Rocky and what have you.
Oh, Rocky and Taguchi, yeah.
That guy's awesome.
Those guys really work well. And look, Taguchi's been in wrestling industry for more than 20 years. Okay?
It shows, yes. He has some skills.
Yeah, not just skills, but he knows how to work with the crowd, and he knows how to work the comedic tone of it. Like he's been at it like that long. You're right. It shows, and damn it, I respect him for it.
Show overall was really, really good. Kind of at an awkward position because I was kind of positioned behind one of the ring posts.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
and so it's kind of weird for me because I'm like like kind of shifting my body depending on where they are on the ring. But it was actually really great to see some out of ring work too, where they're throwing each other out of the ring, or especially at the tag matches, you have the people outside just kind of not only interfering with the match itself, but then trying to prevent each other from interfering with the match. And I was like, man, I like that. And I look at that floor, and I would hear them hit that floor. I'm like, ooh, that sounded like that really hurt. Like, usually there's pads there, and it doesn't sound like there's pads there. So just thunk against concrete. I'm like,
So there are pads, but it's about like inch thick,
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, ooh, boy, God, is he really hurt? Because he might be really hurt.
That's why they kind of roll twice when they hit the ground, you know?
Yeah.
Just kind of try to break the force.
But it's that sound, and it's honestly, that's one of those things in wrestling is when you hear certain sounds, you're like, oh, it just evokes like a thing in your brain that says there will be pain. But yeah, I think overall everyone really enjoyed watching New Japan. It was a great show. I kind of wish I could have seen both shows. That would have been pretty awesome. I did look around a little bit at the merch booth, but it really isn't kind of, getting like some of the shirts and stuff isn't entirely my thing. But I know you guys hit up the merch booth. What'd you guys think?
Oh, speaking of merch.
Deb, you want to talk about your merch? Because your merch is
man.
the most impressive one.
It's usually the usual stuff, but one caught my eye I did not expect. There was it's a product called Mochineko, and they're basically therapy plush for people who have trouble sleeping. So there was another one. I think they named it Carol.
Or something like that.
Or something like that. And I think that particular doll is popular as well, so they're almost out. So I rushed down to that merch line and got one.
So the history behind the Mochineko doll being sold at the New Japan Pro Wrestling booth, I gotta really condense it. It's all thanks to the one man taking time bomb, Hiromu Takahashi, and he entered the ring just carrying around the black and white Mochineko doll called Daryl.
Yeah, he named it Daryl.
Yeah, they named it Daryl, and everyone just caught on, and then next thing you know, like 5 months later, everyone, their grandma started carrying around the Daryl doll, and the Mochineko doll subsequently online got sold out like within the next month, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is happening.
They are soft and adorable.
Yes, they are,
Yeah.
and they really work. They really do work.
Yeah.
So now they made the other version because they actually had the storyline involving Daryl because at one point last year, like 2018, I want to say, end of 2017, 2018, I want to say, like, Bad Luck Fale, Bullet Club's like enforcer ripped Daryl to bits.
That was harsh.
It was.
The reaction.
Yeah. Oh my god, I saw it. I'm just like, no.
It needs to cut to Woody's face from Toy Story 1 when he sees the toys Sid made. And just that look on his face of terror, like that's it. Just you show that clip and then cut directly to Woody having like
Oh my,
terror on
yeah,
his
no,
face.
it was that, yeah, legit. So, what? But turns out Daryl wasn't really dead. He was just incapacitated, injured, quote unquote, and not long after that, Hiromu Takahashi also got injured severely, I might add.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
that's too bad.
No.
Yeah, long story short, neck injury. So during the absence, I guess Daryl started a family. I guess that, which is where Carol comes in. So now there's two cats now. You can see Takahashi like holding two Mochineko dolls, entering the ring, and yeah.
Yeah, the rest is history, honestly.
And also Hiromu Takahashi's back.
Oh
Baby.
yeah, he is back.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. You know what I want to see in the next actually I'll bring it up later, but at the end of the show. But anyways, no, that's the history of the Mochineko doll, essentially.
Yeah, and not gonna lie, again, it works. Like
It
a
worked.
charm,
So yeah. So Shibata doll, I got myself something that I've wanted for a long time. I don't know why it took me this long to get that hat.
I was wondering why.
Yeah, I know, right? Los Ingobernables, the Harpoon hat. It's like $35, and it also got me a ticket to either the front row seat or meet and greet with any of the wrestlers that day. And since we have press, we really don't need the first.
Yep.
And so I took a ticket for one person that I always wanted to meet, just never had the opportunity until that moment. The wrestler, Katsuyori Shibata. He was really good. When he was wrestling, he was really, really good. Like, he was definitely one of the pioneers of the strong style, along with Shinsuke Nakamura.
Mm-hmm.
So, meeting him, almost decades later, like, it's just like, since watching his video, I'm just like, watching his matches, I'm like, dude, like, this is surreal. This is awesome. And it's good that you're a coach, for the LA dojo. But man, please come back, from your injuries. I know it's severe. There's a good chance that you might not ever come back, but I'm kind of hoping.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is with physical sports. You get that one injury and then that's it. And hopefully he does come back because obviously you want to see him in the ring. I'd like to see someone like a legend like that live. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. So that's a merch line. There weren't a lot of people lining up this year, but
yeah, I noticed that too when I was looking over everything.
Probably because we got there late and everyone just covered their bases,
It's possible.
Yeah.
I did see the cat and I was like, kind of want one of those cats, but I have
that got sold out pretty quick, huh?
It did.
I have too much stuff around anyway, so it's not really like a must-have. But I'm like, would really like to. I figure there's some fun like accessorization I could do with that cat, with different costumes or whatever that I wear for conventions, and just have the cat with me.
You're gonna fall asleep.
I fall asleep anyways.
Yeah.
No, we're talking during the con.
Yeah.
I've done that. There's photos of me asleep during the con.
No, you're just gonna walk around 5 minutes, 5 seconds in, like a comedic cartoon.
Make my panels better.
Anyways, just moving on to other stuff at Kara Expo. We also have the food court, and I also checked out the Butler Cafe. So I went to the Butler Cafe. It's called Swallowtail. In Japan, you need to make a reservation a year in advance. It's very popular. So much so that it actually got fans from Japan to fly over to the Swallowtail Cafe. In fact, for each... I swear, this was also confirmed to me by some of my other friends who went to Swallowtail. They actually saw, these two Japanese girls who made a reservation for every time slot just so they can, just do the Butler Cafe. And, my friend Jonelle invited me to do this. I wasn't really expecting, okay, this could be fun. And I'm sure she actually did tell me, in Japan, it's much more ornate, it's much more elaborate, and they actually sing and dance for you, and they actually interact with you more, and basically you just pretty much just pay them to just treat you like a princess. And I just went in there, it's not very well decorated. Yeah, there was, a bird decoration on our table in, mittens, I guess. And then... I did like the tea that I have, but I wish they came back for more refills. I wasn't really feeling all that well that morning, so the tea did help. But can I just have more than just 75% of a cup of tea? And then the food that they serve, it was 2 cookies and chocolate from Sweden, which is this brand called Lindt, and there's 1 piece of chocolate. And I'm like, okay, I'm paying $28.
You pay what?
The value of this is $28.
Pardon?
I know people who did this multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whatever.
And I'm I was expecting more. I was expecting more if I'm gonna drop $28 at the Fan-Made Cafe. I was able to just get a full lunch out of that, and also. The maid interacts with you. They play card games, and then we also do game show type things.
Yeah, there's sometimes a stage show going on where they're dancing, singing, or what have you.
And this was just white walls, a table with white tablecloths, so it felt like an insane asylum, but with people in suits giving us food.
So you paid $28 for insane asylum.
If it was themed to an insane asylum, I think that it actually would have been better.
Oh, there need to be horror cafes. Horror cafes would be awesome.
I'm actually down with that, strangely enough.
There's a lot of people who'd probably be down with it. So what's the point of it? Those monsters basically provide you with food, threaten you, well, horror cafe.
As long as I don't spill my scalding hot tea on myself, I think I'd be okay with this.
Yeah.
And you do the photo op with the butlers, and if that's your thing, that's cool. But just for me personally, $28, that's not a lot of value. Considering I've done a lot of maid cafes before, and I paid much less for far more service and for far more food.
You know what would have made it worth $28? If they wrestled in the middle of the cafe.
They should have combined.
I would have been okay with that.
New Japan Butler Cafe would have been amazing.
I'd be okay with that.
my
They bring your
God.
stuff, and then like two of the waiters would bump into each other. And you're like, "Hey, pal, no, this is my table." And then they're just turning into a wrestling thing in the middle of everything, and everyone at their tables just sitting there drinking their tea, watching
Honestly,
you
it's
guys
just-
like smash each other.
It's just I'm just gonna keep asking. It's like, hey, Stan, isn't that insert wrestler name there? And then
Yeah. Oh man, two of their best butlers versus Suzuki-kun. I want to see that.
It was funny because one of my friends, she did the Butler Cafe at the same time as the pro wrestling match, and then she was like, wrestlers, can you be quiet? I want to hear my butler tell his life story. Wait, your butler actually talked to you?
Man, he
Like
must
mine
have
just kind of
liked
came
her.
and went. Anyway, but I don't know. I just want to let you know what you're getting into. Like, yes, the Swallowtail Cafe does have a pretty huge reputation in Japan, but here, white walls, two cookies and chocolate, and not even a full cup of tea for $28 plus the photo op. It's just, to me, that's just not worth the value of going in there. I know last year they actually did have like a Butler Cafe stage show. They had like that stage demonstration area where not only you could see people, the butlers dance and stuff, but you could also see like samurai demonstrations and martial art demonstrations. But we didn't even get that either. So I'm like, if you're curious, I'm not telling you not to, but just for me, not worth $28.
Meanwhile, on our end, it would have been like, shut up, butlers! I want to hear this guy talk about how much he hates anime and everyone that watches anime.
Man, the crossover would have made it the best.
Someone fund this. I'd be so down for it. However, aside from the Swallowtail Cafe, we also had like the little Japanese food court.
You know, I'm glad at least one of them accepted card, otherwise we would have gone hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cash only thing, okay, if you're going to Kara Expo, bring some cash with you because some of these folks were cash only. Last year, some of them were forgiving to accept Venmo, but I'm like, okay, yeah, just bring cash only if you wanna eat.
So there were a few vendors that returned from last year, right? But there was one vendor that we found that were new, and it's officially our regular favorites now. Deb, it's also your new favorite.
Yeah. There is a bakery in Anaheim. I'm taking the pause there. It's called Okayama Kobo Bakery and Cafe. They sell very good bread, and I believe I bought the yakisoba.
You bought yakisoba,
Yeah.
and I got the salt and butter roll.
And I remember when we got to that stall the first time, they said, I was like, I'm sorry, we literally sold out everything. Come back in an hour. And I'm like, okay, I can wait.
Yeah, no exaggeration. Everything.
Yeah, they literally said everything. And then when I come back, and they barely had anything left.
Yeah, they were sold out on their own curry pon as well,
Yeah.
which is like,
curry
what?
pon.
Yeah, their melon pon got sold out.
Yeah.
There was only the matcha pon left, but I was like getting super hungry, so I got the yakisoba.
Yeah.
Yakisoba is surprisingly really good. Yeah, the bread is actually not hardtack. It's super soft, and it worked really well with the yakisoba. There was like the usual stuff: the noodle, sausage, and red ginger. The sauce is very it's it's not too heavy. It's super light. It's pretty decent. So I actually enjoyed it.
And then you took a bite of my butter roll, salt and butter roll.
Yeah,
and
salt and
what do you
butter
think of that?
It took me a while. I think I had to take 2 bites to get the butter, the taste of the butter and the salt. And it was actually nice. Again, it was very light and very fluffy.
You wouldn't think the combination would work, and yet there
Yeah.
it was actually worked out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, wow, this is actually pretty good. And that was enough to convince us to go to their Anaheim branch,
Yeah.
and they were still sold out on bread.
They were still sold out. The melon pon got completely sold out that night, too.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
like, wow, okay, it's gonna take us a while to get the bread, but now I'm glad they were there. We were able to find them, and it's our favorite now. So
Yeah.
that worked out.
Prices are super affordable, so I highly recommend.
Yeah, Jay and I, we had the takoyaki and the chicken karage.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared, you're a takoyaki fan. How'd you rate this one?
I love takoyaki, and they actually had big chunks of octopus inside, which was nice. Sometimes you'll get the ones with a little tiny, like, oh, I think I tasted some octopus. This one's actually a large chunk, which is nice. The chicken karaage has become one of my new favorite, like, I can't call it a treat because it's like a
Like a little appetizer type thing.
Yeah, like a little lunch treat. Because the breading they use on the fried chicken is so good. And I love fried chicken, as anyone who may have watched my cooking show knows. Or, well, sort of cooking show, whatever. My food review show / cooking show occasionally will know that I love fried chicken. And so having variations of fried chicken with better kind of spices and different kinds of breading or coating is always something I want to try, and God, that's become one of my new favorite things. I wanted to try the bread, but instead I just made a Full Metal Panic joke and just kind of moved on to the next booth because they were selling out, and I was like, hey, I know that reference. So that worked for me. They also had a drink place with boba, I believe.
Yes, they did.
And so that's always nice to have that, and boba's always kind of a nice treat to have.
Yeah, I had some milk tea to just hold me over through the day. Again, kind of was feeling a little bit under the weather. So, like, just having the tea help, and also just having that milk tea also just helped me just get through the day. In addition to the Japanese food court, they also had, like, some food type vendors around the area. They had Calpico. So this is, like, the Japanese milk company, and they come in different flavors, mango, strawberry, and they were also doing a giveaway. So if you took a selfie at their booth and post it on your social media, you would get a free bottle of Calpico. You can choose which flavor. I picked strawberry, and that also held me over through most of Saturday as well. I was drinking pretty healthy there. And also there was a ramen booth that was like just promoting instant ramen, and if you followed them on social media, you'd be entered in for a drawing, and I ended up winning a 5-pack of ramen. Did any of you try out any of these booths and get the free food?
What? Free? There was free food?
The Ichiban Ramen?
Ichiban Ramen? Oh, that place. Yeah. I got 2 ramen off of that.
I actually got the 5-pack.
You got...
Oh, I got the 5-pack too, yes. That was my lunch for like 1 week.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
Are
lie.
you serious? Oh,
I still
wow.
have a bunch, so...
Damn.
Yeah.
Alright.
Even when I brought the ramen back home, Jay's dad was asking, like, yeah, how's that ramen going? I'm like, yeah, it's alright, it's pretty good.
And then just ate the rest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I got
it's
to have
actually
none
not
of
too
it.
bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it was my lunch
Brought it to work.
brought to work, and that was just my lunch. But it's pretty good. I like the spice of it.
Oh, yeah, the Momo-chan? Oh, God.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
He's a really good chef.
He's a
too.
really good
I
chef,
feel
but
bad.
so that specialty ramen is really good in the way that you cook differently from different from the usual instant ramen. You cook differently. You know how you make it is totally different. You know, instead of dunking the sauce in the pot, you dunk it in the bowl.
Bowl.
Yeah. It's just like how you would make the usual, ramen, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Eating it plain turned out really good.
Yeah,
So.
it was actually still good, So, yeah, I love that brand, It's just a little more expensive than the... a little expensive, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. So let's talk about concerts at Chara Expo. And Stan, Deb, and myself had a chance to check out Roselia on Saturday night. And that concert was a rockin'.
Oh, wow.
This is my second time seeing them live. I saw them last year, and I was just totally floored and totally amazed. It's always just nice seeing them perform live. I love Roselia is my favorite band in Bandori. I was cosplaying as Yukina that day, so yes, I can wear to cosplay my favorite person in this franchise, and oh my god, it was just so much fun. I'm just bummed that I didn't get the Roselia light pen, and I do have a collection of light pens at home, but I forgot to bring them.
That was wild.
Yeah, I think it was our first time too.
It's such a vortex of energy, not just from the band, but from the people,
The fans,
the
man.
fans in front and back.
The energy was incredible, actually.
Yeah,
So.
and You know, watching them that close, like probably the closest we're gonna get into, unless we get a ticket. You know,
Yeah.
watching them that close, it was an experience. Jeez,
Yeah.
it's really tough to describe it. I love the hell out of it. God damn, I'll do it again. You
So
know?
just kind of for our audience folks out there, Roselia, they are a band from the gotcha game Bang Dream, and what separates this group from most other idol groups that I've seen live is they play their own instruments.
There's two groups in Bandori that does that, Poppin' Party and Roselia, where the voice actors actually play their own instrument
And sing.
and sing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Roselia is definitely unique in that. That's what I think. That's what makes it great. That's what makes everyone want to watch them. It's because it's the little voice actors doing their own thing.
And they are super talented, and I just love Aina Aiba, just how she just belts out like just everything.
Not just that, but her stage presence. She just freaking controls everything. It's amazing.
She just has like this hard look on her face, and it's so polar opposite when she does like her other stuff. Like she's just fabulous to just see live. Because I remember seeing Aina Aiba for the first time when we were, Deb and Jay were actually at the TMS panel, and she was doing like this rock paper scissors type thing. And, like, she was just all genki. Like, I'm happy to be here, everyone. I'm Aina Aiba, Claudine, and review Starlight. And then we see her live as, like, completely different personality. Because they're also still being in character.
Right. So, being Yukina, you know, she gotta be hardcore. And then everyone else has their own, like, personalities, you know. Like, goddamn. Mego being an Akko, like, just, jeez.
I like the fact that her character in one thing is very similar to her character in the other one, being very serious and all that. That's gonna be helpful.
And also in between sets, this one was my favorite part from this one, was they were talking about like what superheroes that they would be. So Akko was like, I'm Doctor Strange. Saya was like, yeah, I want to have a lightsaber. And then Yukina, Aina Aiba, she was like, oh, I like Spider-Man. So she kept on doing like Spidey poses.
Do not give Akko the gate. Do not give Akko the like Doctor Strange power ever. Like no.
You mentioned about the stones as well.
Yeah.
Infinity stones.
Because Strange has time stone.
Time stone.
Yeah.
She mentioned time stone. I was like, oh my gosh, is this real life?
And it's funny too because the very next day, I follow the voice actors and Roselia on social media. They actually went to Disneyland and they piloted the Millennium Falcon. So there's selfies of them like in front of the Millennium Falcon and also right at that chess table of where Chewbacca and Han play chess and stuff, and you let the Wookiee win.
Hello, chess.
Yes, that. My Star Wars lore is fading because a new fandom is taking over my brain right now. Anyway, Roselia was really fun to see live. I like the fact that they performed a couple of their new singles. They had Oneness out there. They also had, like, Chara.
Fiverr.
Yeah, that was also one of their new stuff. Like, yeah, I was kind of disappointed that they didn't play Black Shout. That's also one of my personal favorites. I even have a keychain that's branded to Black Shout.
Oh, dang.
But I got that last year at Kara Expo. That was like one of the few Roselia stuff they still had. Like, I need Roselia stuff. It's all selling out fast. I need crap of Roselia. And it was just pure joy to just see them live. And now, like, okay, now a couple of my friends and I, we just yeah, we saw them live again. Like, hey, let's go do more Roselia cosplay.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have the Oneness cosplay already done, and I'm being like headbutted to going into doing the Terra group with the pink dresses.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I actually did see someone do Yukina of that version. It's my friend Mary from New York at the con. Like, whoa, that was fast. Mm. And she hand makes her stuff, and her day job is she's a bridal fashion designer. So, like, yeah, her skills are pretty wild. But overall, it was a fun concert. Like, even if you didn't have a ticket, you could still watch the concert at the sidelines. And because everything is all in one exhibit hall, you could still hear the concert going on, like, in the back of the room.
Also the display.
Oh, yes, Floral Displays.
So if you look at the behind us, like we were like in front of the production crew, right? So you look behind, there are usually like 5-6 rows of people just like singing along and just
Along the way back.
all the way back.
That was crazy.
Yeah, this is like I look back and like it's like 6-7 rows of people just like swinging their glow sticks. Like, damn, this is real. This is real.
Yeah, idol concerts, because I've been doing it since Anime Expo started, like adding like idol concerts. Like, they're always a lot of fun for me, and highly recommend, if you've never done an idol concert, just do it at least once in your lifetime, because it is a different kind of experience. Oh yeah, the floral displays. Also, they had like floral displays dedicated to each idol and each band that was present at Kara Expo. So they had a couple of Roselia ones out there, and I think my personal favorite one was showing the band members of Roselia in their anime form with like various Disney ears on them. So of course Yukina had Marie because she likes cats, and Akko had the Maleficent ears, and they were all in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle. I'm like, oh hey, this is really cute. And I was just kind of like just browsing by the floral displays, and even though I wasn't familiar with like some of the characters that were present on there, it was just really nice to just kind of just see like just a different type of art, like floral arranging, and just kind of just seeing how the colors just all kind of come together. And usually it's not really a crowded area. Usually that's the area where people just kind of like just sit and chill. I know I used that place to like sit and chill a couple times at Kara Expo, but it was just kind of nice. Just like, oh, this is really nice just seeing all these floral displays. All right. So aside from Roselia, let's talk about card games.
That was one of the more fun surprises for me.
Surprise is an understatement.
Because I didn't know how much they were actually going to have there. I knew they had the Card Fight Vanguard was going to be there. I can say words too. And I'm curious about that game, but I'm not really in the mood to learn something new and complex. So the other thing I knew that was going to be there was Fate Duel, and I had to try that one out and just get a better taste of how that functions, other than collecting little figurines. And honestly, the biggest surprise of all of the things was a wrestling-themed card game that I think Deb introduced me to, and that was a trip. Also, for those who care about how skilled I am at card games, I lost everything I played. There are 0 wins for me at Kara Expo. But other than that, it all went awesome.
So, the other game, the game that we I think we played was a wrestling card game. That was a surprise one,
Yeah, as Jared mentioned.
It's really good. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
SRG.
SRG, thank you. Yeah. And essentially the way it would function is you would get your wrestler card, and then you have your deck of moves, and then you kind of roll to see who gets to make a move. It's fairly simple to learn, and it really feels like one of those games where you really would make your customized deck for your wrestler of choice. And they even have some real indie wrestlers and stuff in there, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of cool to know that they actually were able to achieve that, where they talk to the guys like, hey, you want to be in our game? And supposedly a lot of them play it too. So you have not only people who are actual wrestlers in the game, but then they play the game as well. There's big tournaments. They have a whole Discord group. It's actually pretty cool to know that it's this huge thing. I guess it started more on the East Coast, and it's kind of made its way over here with Vegas tournaments and what have you, which, I don't know if I want to devote enough of my time and life into mastering a wrestling deck and going there and taking people on in the Vegas tournaments. On the other hand, I wouldn't mind to have a master-designed wrestling deck and kick people's ass in Vegas, where wrestling is supposed to happen.
So that's a yes.
And then I'll bug them to get someone from Glow, so then I can be more authentic being in Vegas. $5 to whoever gets that one.
Yeah, Kenny Omega got involved in that game. Let's see, Joey Janela got involved in that game. I believe Zack Sabre Jr. as well.
Yes. second.
Yeah. So
That was another surprise.
yeah,
I was like, oh dang.
it's like I'm just looking at his stat like, oh god, this isn't fair, you know?
Yeah, you pointed it out. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye, you know? Roll the wrong deck or he'll armbar you, you know? It's like roll the wrong deck, armbar. Pick the wrong deck, armbar. You know, just breathing, armbar.
Well, the problem is it really comes down to luck of the draw as well. Because that was the thing with me where I didn't get most of my counter cards until like the very end. And by then, I was more trying to defend against the finisher and less about trying to block other moves because I had no options up to that point. So I just got a bad draw, and it was just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do what I can with these cards, and I lasted quite a bit. They even have like a fan meter, and the fan meter goes up the longer the match goes, and then the higher the fan meter, the more difficult it is to actually break.
Well, it's just
pin.
more. It's just more because every pin roll gets boosted.
Yeah.
In every level, so it could benefit you, you know.
Yeah.
But
it was just the point that like the way drawing was for me did not work great in my benefit because I feel like whenever it got shuffled, all my stopper cards were the lower half of the deck, and it was like, oh good, now I have my stops. So they all came at like the wrong, or it'd be one of those worst things where he'd use a move that really messed me up, and then I'd pull my next card, like, and there's my stop. Good. The thing would have blocked you. I just pulled it. So, but you know, that's luck of the draw. It happens sometimes. But a really fun game, and even if you're not really into wrestling, it's still a really good combat-themed card game, where it's not about, you know, having the more monsters or lucky uses of traps or magic cards. Instead, it's just you have one guy who, you know, this was obviously the playtest version, but you would have chosen whatever wrestler goes with a style you like. The moves that would really work well with that guy, you know, stuff that would work with whatever their stat for toughness is or grappling or what have you. And then, you know, the rest of it just comes down to, you know, good rolls and good draws. And I like that. And then smart playing of your cards, because you might even say, oh, I can use this counter card, or I could hold on to this, because maybe later on it might be more useful. And it was surprisingly deep, and I really did like it. And it really kind of blew me away, because I was not expecting that. You know, when you talk about, like, oh, here's a wrestling-themed card game, like, okay, what's it going to be? Is it going to be Magic the Gathering, except for, you know, I have, like, you know, Stone Cold and you know, I gotta tap Stone Cold to use his special ability and give me a one Vince McMahon token. I'm like, how the hell is this gonna work? And $5 whoever gets those references. See, I'm old, people. When you can talk about wrestling, I'm freaking old. And no, it wasn't that at all. And I much prefer this combat style versus, you know, just having all the wrestlers out and like, finally I drew Madison Square Garden and now I can utilize like the Stone Cold Stunner and take that guy out. It's like, no. It's just, you have your dude, you got your moves, now it just comes down to what happens in the ring. And I like that. I prefer that, in fact. So that was a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm. The other one I think we played, did we cover Fate?
Not yet.
I briefly brought it up in my talks, but like wrestling takes over on me on that one.
That one surprised me, you know?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed playing Fate Grand Order Duel. We've been meaning to do this for a while, but it's just a matter of just kind of like just getting our butts sit down and like, okay, we got time, we can to go through this. And then Jay and I, we played around, and after playing around, you get a special card as a gift for like just trying it out. And it was a lot of fun. We ended up buying more figures when we were done, because the figures, much like the game itself, it's all gotcha. It's all blind boxes. Mm-hmm. So we actually did get lucky, because right after the con, we just got our blind boxes, and we did kind of a blind box opening ceremony over at Red Robin's. And Jay, what do you remember us drawing?
Oh gosh, what did we get? We got Paracelsus von Hohenheim. We got
Julius
Caesar, which is great because I kind of wanted him just because he's such a fun joke character. We got a rerun of Saber Lily, so we've gotten the super rare secret character twice.
What are the odds?
I'll point out in game I've gotten Bride Nero 3 times. So So yeah,
Speaking
it happens
of-
occasionally.
Speaking of Bright Nero,
And that I don't know if we didn't get Bright Nero on the list. I thought we got. Did we get Bright Nero on the
Yes,
list?
we did.
Bright
You
Nero,
did.
yeah.
yeah.
And then, Deb, I know you opened a box too, and that was shoot.
I'm trying to remember. Oh my gosh. What was it?
Was that the Bright Nero? I think it was.
I think it was the Bright Nero.
Or something like I don't know. Like I forgot what it was, but I know you traded off. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up trading, which is kind of the fun part of
Yeah.
the whole thing,
Yeah.
because when you have that many characters, you can kind of do that.
And they're up to 6 different series already, so they have a lot more than when I first started getting interested into Fate Grand Order Duel.
I just want prototype Arthur. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah.
The way the game works is pretty like it's like a really simplified chess, and you really
It's not entirely inaccurate.
well, not entirely, but it's a hybrid of like you still got to move your pieces, you know, like each turn, and then you kind of have to use your card to move it. But there's a strategy where you used it on me once, where
Yeah.
you just moved once just to kind of waste my card,
Yeah.
and that worked out splendidly for you
Yeah.
because like had I kept that card,
Yeah.
you would have been gone,
Yeah.
you know, in that round.
And again, a lot of it does come up to luck of the draw and kind of what cards you
Yeah.
can get. And then little things that'll upset you, like finding what Nero's, like, not Nero, Gilgamesh's card numbers are.
Oh.
And finding out that he has 3 2s in his deck. And I'm like, okay, so his super has got to be like a one-shot kill because you can't have this low number of cards on Gilgamesh because that is unfair. He is one of the best antagonists in visual novel history. How dare you?
They didn't introduce the skills. For
Yeah,
the
that's
demos.
that's a weird part on them, you know.
So
Like the people running the booths, like they
Yeah.
didn't really talk about the skill. Like it was literally right there, underneath the, right below the character cards.
yeah,
They didn't mention it.
I had to like look online just to check. I was like, oh, they do have skills.
Okay,
But,
how the hell does it work?
I haven't really go in depth, but I know everybody has like the usual abilities based off from the mobile game. So
Oh my god!
yeah.
So there's a stipulation. Okay.
So there's a lot to unpack. So
Alright, fine, you know, but it was still fun. So
It was still fun to do, and I'm glad that we did it, because at least what I try to do at every convention now is make time to do at least one tabletop thing, and I was glad I've done it. I did it. Alright, anything else at Kara Expo we want to cover? Jared, you did some exhibit hall exploring of some of the new properties that Bushy Road was also pushing, including A3, the boy idol game, as you called it, Assault Lily, and
Well,
DJ4D.
Assault Lily told us almost nothing. It showed a handful of the girls, and then had a little video thing that showed the girls and then their weapon, and it didn't, like, there's no story or anything for it right now, but I'm like,
They also had previews of the figures.
and the figures too, which, you know, I'm not going to complain about figures. That's not something I complain about. But it is one of those things for me where I'm like, this is kind of cool. I want to kind of know where this is going because, like, I liked to review Starlight, but then eventually I just got bored of it. Not only just in game, but also in terms of the anime, because it never felt like anything was really progressing anywhere. And I wouldn't mind to see what this turns into, because I'm curious about it. I don't mind my girls with huge weapons. I mean, I'm a fan of a lot of military girl series, so I do definitely like that combination. I like some of the character designs. I just wish I had more information about the series. Maybe they did a presentation or a discussion about it that I just didn't get to see.
They
that
did,
was
but
interesting.
it was during wrestling time.
Forget that. I want to watch like dudes wail on each other because it's awesome. And then yeah, they had the A3 thing, which was just finally a dude idol game, because you see because of Bushy Road, every female at a con has 8 trillion costume variants they can go through. And if you're a dude, you basically get whatever the shonen du jour is as your new option for costuming. Or you're going to go from stuff from like the 80s. Those are your 2 options. And I would really, really like something with dude characters of clothing variations that I can wear so I can have options of stuff. And unfortunately, Idolmaster Side M failed, so I kind of want something to succeed that has these things, therefore I can do it.
And you already
And-
found like dudes that you like just based on what they were wearing.
Of Because they don't have personalities. This is just like, any number of other Bushiroad things. Characters don't have a personality. They have a base archetype, and you didn't determine what base archetype you like, what wig you want to wear, or which costume version they have that you like the most.
So what's your preferred base archetype?
Well, one, I love the Mafia costume. So first off, whichever characters get that Mafia costume set, I want one of the Mafia costumes. I honestly, I'd say the same thing if I was cosplaying. If I was a female cosplaying from Review Starlight.
I do like Karuko's Mafia variant. I'm like, I want to wear this.
Such an awesome power, too. Beyond that, it's more or less anyone who has either hair I can do naturally, so I don't have to worry about a wig and have my head overheat, or anyone who gets to wear, like, loose but fully covering clothes, as I am hugely fond of loose but fully covering clothes. Because that's how I dress.
And we're just kind of exploring other Bushiroad booths. Like, we were also pretty impressed with the character designs and the feel of D4DJ, and it looks like it's kind of coming out like in the near future. And basically, it's kind of has this feel similar to Bang Dream, different types of bands. But I like the variety of different styles. Like, yes, Bang Dream just has a variety of different styles, but this one seems to be like just taking it up another level with just mixing different music styles within this one game. And I'm also digging the character design, so this already pulls me right in. And I know you and we were also at the Review Starlight booth, and they had like this game where you can just enter in your birth date and you can find out what element you are.
Yep.
And I ended up getting snow, and you ended up getting
snow as well.
Also, you got something. You also got a bonus item because you happen to share the same birthday as one of the Review Starlight girls.
It's Miharu.
Indeed, and Jared ended up getting the clear file, which was like one of the prizes that you would get if you did a stamp rally type thing. I kind of wanted to do the stamp rally. I was like, kind of yes or no on it, but we ended up just getting clear files at the end of the day. It's like, okay, can store more of my paperwork of adulting in here.
I don't get to keep any of my prizes. I can put character sheets from D&D in there. You don't know what I could use with it for.
Also, other freebies that they're also giving out. We also got a free New Japan Pro Wrestling air freshener.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which works, by the way.
Which works like a charm.
Mm-hmm.
And we also got a free Bang Dream lanyard strap dealie.
Mm-hmm. That was nice.
It's super cute.
All right. Anything else we want to cover regarding Chara Expo before we get into good and bad and recommendations?
Good. Oh, well, let's talk about bad. Line control.
Oh yeah, definitely. We covered that earlier. Is there anything else you wanted to add to line control?
Just, I would say get as many. Look, I don't know if they want to or not. But get as. Just ask the con center for help. Really, they have a unionized staff. Okay, as stingy as they are, you still need them. Especially a crowd like this. So get their help. Get the line control. Make sure this doesn't happen again. Other than that, everything else was pretty good. The separation of the New Japan and Bushiroad booth itself. That's a plus. Layout. That's a plus. Just content. That's always a plus. New Japan Pro Wrestling, always a plus,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest gripe with this con, I was intending on just kind of doing this as a last minute thing, but even if I was preparing for this, was the rules for the cosplay contest. So
there was a cosplay contest?
There was a cosplay contest.
Oh, really? No, do go on.
So I was dressed up. I was dressed up as Yohane from Love Live. It's the idolized Valentine's version. It was made to be for a group that I'm in, and I put a lot of work into this. Okay, I want to show this off. I want this to enter this into a contest. I haven't done a contest in a while, so I was just browsing. I had to go all the way to the Facebook page. It wasn't on their website, but I had to search through the Facebook page, scroll down a couple of items to find the rules for the cosplay contest. Cosplay contest rule states that you can only enter costumes from Review Starlight, Card Fight Vanguard, Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel.
I think it was specifically that part of it too. It's the movie that just came out. That's a real limited amount of outfits.
There was a
right
separate Bang Dream costume contest. Okay, I get that this convention promotes Bushiroad intellectual property. Like, hi, Love Live here. You're not on the list. Okay. I'm like just kind of shrugging, like, whatever. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I'm like, okay, so you have a cosplay contest. You're a Bushiroad con, and you're not including Love Live. I call shenanigans here.
That's really weird.
Yeah, I was
To be
weirded out.
honest.
Like, I'm not mad or anything because I'm like, okay, this is more time that I can use to just spend on just having a meal, just kind of like exploring more of the exhibit hall. But I'm like, really? That's kind of odd that you wouldn't include Love Live.
Can you imagine me dressed up as Zack Sabre Jr. go up to that like cosplay contest like, okay, hey, I'm New Japan Pro Wrestling and I'm part of Bushiroad. This is a legit costume. Let me in. And they said, oh, I'm sorry, sir. New Japan Pro Wrestling is not listed. You know what happens next?
Power slam?
Oh no, armbar.
But with the good, I was able to see a couple of my friends I don't really see that often. I saw a couple of my East Coast friends fly out for this one just so they can have a chance to see Roselia live. I was able to just get a few photos with a friend of mine who was cosplaying as Akko in the same outfit that I was wearing, so we got to walk around, take selfies.
Twinsies!
Oh my god. And then also just kind of wandering around. Now I have a couple of mobile games to look forward to. I'm looking forward to D4DJ. I'm looking forward to the new Love Live game because I've been so out of it for such a long time. Like, I kind of wanted to start over again. But yeah, I had a great time at Car Expo and I would definitely return. And hoping that Anaheim Convention Center and Car Expo work it out where they can just do better line control in the morning, because Anaheim is no stranger to having people line up early for stuff, because if D23 is an indication, people were like sleeping in the hallways to make it to the parks panel at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Oh
so
my God.
yeah, they're no stranger to accommodating for early crowds.
By the way, just to sidetrack on that one, how upset would you be if you got up that early, stayed in line that long, and then had that parks panel?
Oh my god. Y'all can like check out our D23 report.
Yeah. Yeah, so honestly, despite the line control drama, I actually enjoyed this year. And yeah, I'm glad I got to explore more things, and hopefully I get to come back next year for sure.
Who would you want for New Japan Pro Wrestling next year, Debs?
Oh, Ibushi, please. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like you had a great time there, like just talking about the food and also and wrestling and also playing some card games.
You know, hey, I'm gonna give you a couple more names.
Yeah.
For New Japan Pro Wrestling next year for the Line Break 3, I guess.
Yeah, I really hope so.
Low single monopolies that Japón.
Oh my-
Specifically, your boy Hiromu Takahashi. Yeah.
You know there's gonna be a lot of Daryls.
And Carols.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an army of cats. Oh my gosh.
Hell yeah.
If there's a mascot of a Mochi Neko, I'm gonna lose my mind.
I want all the hugs.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure.
Yeah, dude. Let's make. I hope they make it happen. Like Ibushi for one thing, and then
That's just the dream, man.
Okay, if they have like a mascot for Mochi Neko, I want to see that Mochi Neko go head to head with the Michelle cosplayer.
in the ring, 20-minute time limit. There you go.
Oh god, that's like DDT.
Yes.
That's a whole nother show. Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Which, by the way, that Michelle won the Bang Dream cosplay contest.
Nice. I'm okay with that.
All right, Jay, your thoughts on Kara Expo, first timer?
This was an interesting event for me because I wasn't really looking forward to this. I mean, New Japan is great and all, but going to an event just to watch a little bit of wrestling wasn't entirely like an excitement point for me. After going to it, I realized I could still do this as a one-day thing and I'd be fine. But New Japan was hype, for sure. The food was a nice surprise. It was higher quality than I was really expecting. As I was expecting no food, as I apparently forgot that from any kind of editing I did on the previous year's report. Walking around was fine, looking at stuff. Card games was great. Maybe I should have gotten to learn the rules for Card Fight Vanguard. That could have been an interesting thing. But overall, I'm glad I went. I did have fun. It took like half the day before I started having fun because I kind of went there feeling a little bit sick in the morning, and with a little bit of food and walking around, I kind of got my body working again, though I was kind of exhausted the whole time. Overall, I still think that this is an event that really is for... If you like one of these franchises, you will be very happy. As long as that franchise is New Japan, Bang Dream, or Review Starlight. And otherwise, there's not really a huge reason to go. So just keep that in mind. I think anyone, if you're into board gamey stuff, this could... it's not that expensive of a ticket, and you could check out at least some of the board gamey stuff and probably have some fun with that. But other than that, it's not like a lot to really do there, per se. So just bear that in mind when, we have our excitement and we're talking about how much we love this, we love that, and that's great. But if you're not really a fan of any of those things, there's almost no reason to go here. So just kind of keep that in mind when making your convention plans next year.
All right, that wraps it up for episode 155 of Zero Hour, where we cover Chara Expo. 2020 is on the horizon. We have one more episode of Zero Hour for 2020, and that is our Anime NYC episode. 2020, well, we'll keep you posted, and we'll keep you in the loop about which conventions you'll catch us at. We'll definitely be at WinterCon, that's for sure. Gonna stop by Fanime because I hear Gilgamesh has a subtle score, but we hope to see you in 2020. And remember, the con is what you make of it, so make it a good one. Good night, everybody.